interface, right? So anyway, so let's take a look how would we move this to a remote server, a remote database, right? So we already did some work that would allow us to do this fairly simple, right? One of the things that we did is that here this database connection, right, of Mongoose when it connects to a database, it's the URL that it uses is not hard coded, right? Notice that it's driven by this constant, right? This environment variable called Mongo connection string. See that? And we configure that to point to a local database, right? That is running here, right? And it works fine. So what we're going to do now, right, is that we're going to deploy this to render.com, and when it runs on render.com, it's going to look for that, it's going to look for this string, and it's not going to have it by default, right? Because I never declared it, and so it's going to fail. It's going to say, oh, I can't connect to the database. But what we're going to do is that we're going to create that environment variable, and we're going to point it to an actual Mongo Atlas instance, right? So we're going to create a Mongo Atlas instance, grab the URL, and paste it here so that so that this server can access the database. Okay. All right. So let's do that. So first of all, we need to go to MongoDB Atlas Cloud Service. So let's do that. Let's go there. And I'm going to sign in. I think with my Google, I don't remember. I think it's my Google. Okay, all right, so once we're in, right, the instructions walk you through creating a database, right? Now, I already did this of creating a cluster and creating a user and creating everything, right? So I'm not going to do that again, but just to check, I do have database access. This is the user that I created, right, with its own password and everything, although I don't remember my password. And so what we're going to do is that we're going to create a database here for us to work remotely. Maybe it wasn't this instance. Let me check. Oh, there it is. Projects. Oh no, okay, that makes sense. Let's see. Canvas. Was it this one? Database? No, that's not it. Web dev. No, let's see. Maybe I was log out. I logged in with Google. Can I log in with GitHub? Oh, it's not letting me log in. There we go. Is it with GitHub? Let me see. That must have been Google then. All right. Okay, so we log in with Google. I already have an account. Oops. What's going on? Let's try it again. Okay, we're here. So first, it's gonna the first time you go around, it's gonna ask you quite a few questions about creating a user. What environment are you to use? Whether you want a paid version or a free version. I'm using the free version, right? And so once you're in there, one of the things that you'll need to configure, the instructions walk you through this, is the network access, right? And right now it is configured to only receive requests, right, from the IP address of this machine, right? But once you deploy this remotely to Heroku or whatever, you can't guarantee what the IP address is. So what I did is that I opened up the IP address to everybody, right, and said, anybody can connect. It doesn't matter from what IP address. Now this is not very safe, right? And so let's only have it, just for this course. Once you're done, you should delete this, right? So otherwise, anyone could just connect to the database, right? Also, we created an account. Okay, I do have Giuseppe, all right. And now, although I don't remember my password, let me change my password, edit password, enter new password. Okay, so I'm gonna use, say, super secret password. Show super secret password. Okay, copy and update. All right, so I updated it. And then you can create a database, right, for this course, say, right? You can create, and we're going to say, all right, so it's going through the whole process, right? And I'm going to choose there is no free version. Uh-oh. I did have a free version. What's going on? 0.08 M2 for learning. I'm going to go with this cheapest cluster. I'll say this is the Canvas cluster. And I'm going to go with AWS, North Virginia, and we'll say create. So this is going to create a server that is going to be hosting this. And it's asking me for my billing address. Really? What is going on? This is not cancel. Back. I'll do this later. Deployment, Northeastern, Atlas, Polyglot. Let me try this. Generic server, Northeastern. Okay, I already had projects in here. Canvas. And already had a cluster. Okay, already had a cluster. And this one should be free. And let's see, connect. I want to be able to connect to this. Do I already have a database? Let me check. Databases. In cluster 0, I should be able to go to cluster 0. And I can connect, and I can connect using Compass. And it'll give me a URL over here, right? So I can copy that. And my password, I don't remember my password. Done. So let me go back to my database access, Januzzi. I'm going to edit. I'll change my password and say super secret. Okay, copy that. Save that. Okay, so now we can go back to the database, say connect, and I want to connect using Compass. I'll copy the URL, and now I can go to Compass and say, okay, well, this one's connecting to my local database, and I can say now create a brand new window over here. See, let's bring it over. And I want to connect to that URL. So let me copy it. Let me copy it again. Copy. Okay, and come here, and I'm going to paste the URL. And the password is super secret. Super secret. Say connect. So this should list all the databases. Okay, there it is. Canvas SU24. All right, perfect. So let's create a database for this course, right? And so notice that now we have two databases running, right? One locally, and now this remotely, right? That is running on Atlas. And so don't confuse them, right? So this one is the one that's local, SU1, and it has it has some users, some modules, some courses, some assignments. What we could do is that we could export this data, export query full collection as a JSON file, export users, and I'm going to put it in my desktop. Select, so it's saved. So now I can go to my Mongo that is running remotely, right, on Atlas, and I can create a database where I can import this. So I can create a database, call it Canvas SU1, and I'm going to create a users collection, which is empty at first, but I can import the JSON that I just exported, which is this one right here. Everything, even including the IDs, right, the primary key. So everything's there. So select that, I'll say select, import. There we go. So now the users that I had in my local machine are now also in the remote machine. Everybody good? Okay. All right. So now I want the server to be able to, my Node.js server to be able to connect to that remote database, right? Instead of connecting to my local database, right? When it's deployed on Heroku or on Render, right? So let's create a let's create a new Render service, right? We already have one that is for the prior assignment, but I don't want to touch that because the TAs might be already grading assignment 5, right? So I don't want to trample on that. So I'll create a brand new server, right, for this assignment, right? In Netlify you don't have to, because Netlify is aware of multiple deployments, one per each branch, right? So each branch has a separate deployment, and you can access it by prepending the A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, A6, right, in front, and then you'll get a different server running per environment per branch. Over here we don't have that, right? In render.com we don't have that, right? And in Heroku we don't have that, right? So instead I'm just going to deploy in a different place, and I'm going to deploy to a different branch, right? So the branch that we have right now, let's see, git branch. All right, A6. So I'm going to commit everything to A6. So A6, add everything, commit, and I'm going to push to A6. So that's pushed. I can now go to render.com, right, and create a service for this. So let's do that. So let's say render.com. We already have a service running. Okay, and I believe it's this one, right? This is the one that's already running, but is mapped to branch A5. See that? So I'm just going to create another one. Say new web service, build from Git, right? And it's connecting to the repository. It's going to check to see. Notice that I just pushed branch 6 a few minutes ago. It's going to say, oh, that one? There it is, right? It's this one a few minutes ago, connect. And I'm going to give it a different branch, A6, right? So notice that it adds a -1 because there's already one that has that name, right? So I'm going to choose the branch A6, npm install, node app.js, yes, free, node app.js, right? Is that correct? Yeah, okay. And what else? And I already have an environment variable, right? Because I wanted to connect to that database, right? Which is the name of the environment variable is what? Let's see. DB connection string, I guess. DB connection string. Is that what I called it? Oh, Mongo connection string. Okay, I think that's wrong. Mongo connection string. Is that right? Is that what I called it in the code? Let me see. Yeah, Mongo connection string. Okay, good. Mongo connection string. And the URL is, right, if I go here, I want to say I want to connect to the Atlas, not through Compass, meaning not our user interface, but through my Mongoose driver, right? Through my Node.js, right? And it's saying, okay, well, the way you do that is that you install Node.js, which we already have, install Mongo, blah, blah, blah. And here's the URL that we should use. I'm going to copy that. And that's where my environment variable is going to have a value. And I need to put here the password, right, of the actual user, which is what's a super secret. Super secret. I think that's it. No, okay. All right, so let's create the service. So now it's going to take a branch A6, right? It's going to try and build it. We can take a look at the logs as it works. It's taking a while. What's going on? New log entries that match your search. What's going on? Live tail, alive. Okay. Is it running? Okay, no, it's not running yet. Your free instance. Okay, there we go. Checking out for the commit. Checking out. It's cloning it. Right. It's compiling it. Doing npm install. Okay, it says that it's building the build. All right. Let's see. Build, upload, blah blah. Successful, blah blah. Okay. Oh, so it looks like it's working. Let's give it a minute. Let's see if it's already running. Let's see. Come on, wake up. Cloning, yada. So the first time you connect to the server, oh yeah, there it is. The server's running. It might take a few minutes, and we just recently added an API to retrieve all the users. Let's see if that works. Okay, that did not work. All right, I think I know why. In the environment variables, this is the environment that we created. And one thing that we're missing here is the name of the database that we want to connect to. And I think it's Canvas SU1, I think. Oops. SU1, is that it? Let's see. The database that we created, browse collections, and the database is SU1, I think. Oh, SU1, users. There we go. So yeah, so SU1. SU1, save child. Okay, save. Now, every time you make a change to a variable, you need to redeploy. Okay, so that should start up again. It's building, it's redeploying, it's grabbing that change that we made about the users. And hopefully this will work in a minute. Notice there's no need to do anything to the client side, right? The React.js project, running way back in Netlify is totally oblivious of where the database is, right? Because that is entirely the responsibility, right, of the server to know where the database is, right? as long as the server maintains that API, right, so I can talk to it and send it requests and pulls and posts and whatnot, then everything will be fine, right? And this is taking a little bit too long. It says that it's still building. All right, so while that's going, let's take a look at some new topics while that's happening.